Welcome to the One Step Empire podcast from SHEcorporated. We're here to help you take the leap and create the life you dream of by building your own business empire one simple step at a time. So we're going to keep it simple, cut the fluff, and focus on the elements that are the most critical to your success and will have the biggest impact on your business in the amount of steps that you actually have time for each week, one. So coming up today is a short 5-minute podcast to give you all the information you need to make your next step in your journey. And step by step, week by week, you will be moving in the direction of your dreams and building your business empire. Welcome back to SHEcorporated One Step Empire podcast. Last week, we talked through how to find your business idea. If you missed it, you definitely want to go back and start there, as each podcast is going to build on the previous one. This week, we're going to take that idea that you've decided to move forward with and test it and prove it to make sure it's solid and then tweak it if needed. So one of the best ways to test an idea is to create a minimum viable product. So simply put, that means the smallest thing that you can put out to your market to test whether they actually want it. It's a great opportunity to make sure that there's demand before sinking a lot of time and money into your idea. And then assuming that your idea turns out to be solid, it will also give you real world feedback and ideas on how to enter the market with a stronger product or service that's better suited to your market's needs. And this method works for both physical products and also for services. So how do you come up with a minimum viable product to test? Well, you want to start with market research. So the first step to creating your minimum viable product is gathering information. You want to conduct surveys, ask around, analyze your competition, because the more information you have, the more likely you are to succeed. So take a really good look at what your competitors are doing. If you think you don't have competitors, you need to look harder, because maybe no one is producing exactly the same product or supplying the same service, but other products or services may be filling that same need. So I'll give you an example from when we were conducting market research for our gift experience brand, the Future You project. There were no other companies supplying the identical product, but there were other companies selling gift boxes, which is part of what's included in the gift experience that the Future You project provides. So we started by looking at gift box companies as our competition. But when you peel back the layers and you look at the need we were filling, there were many more competitors. Because you think about, why would someone buy the gift experience? To send love and support to a woman in their life that needed it, right? So what else exists in the market they could choose from? Flowers, chocolates, greeting cards, bookshops, and of course, the gift box companies as well. Suddenly, there was a lot of competition to examine. So once you've done some research on your market and your competitors, you need to create your minimum viable product to test. For physical products, one really easy way to do this is with pre-selling. So all you need to invest in here is the prototype, and you want some high quality marketing materials like photos and video. Now, the added bonus to this method is that you also get the funding from the pre-sale upfront to help you pay to develop and produce the actual products, which is a huge bonus. So if you have a large audience already, you can actually launch that pre-sale to your audience on your website or your social media. But if you don't have an audience, that's okay. You can tap into existing audiences like Kickstarter or other crowdfunding sites like iFundWomen and Indiegogo. Landing pages are another great strategy to test your product. Sending your test market to a landing page that shows and explains your products or service, and then gives you the opportunity to test your pricing structure to see what they choose and to see if they're interested in buying the product or service. If you're a writer and you want to test your idea for a book, you could create a series of blog posts to test your material and your market fit before you spend months writing the full book. Or perhaps you have an online course idea. You could start with selling some live webinars. It will save you the costs and the months of preparation. And if you follow them up with a Q&A session, it will also help you develop your material for the actual course launch, so you hit the target right out of the gate. Another great way to test both products and services is to conduct customer interviews. It's super simple and it's so often overlooked. So many businesses fail because they skip this step, and either there was no need for the product in the market, or they missed the opportunity to improve it before they took it to market because they didn't solicit any feedback. So you think it's a great idea, obviously, or you wouldn't be creating it, but you need to make sure your market likes it as much as you do. And if they don't, why not? Now, without testing, you're guessing. and you don't want to risk your business's future on guesswork. So some of the best ideas really come from customers. So why waste the opportunity to make your product or service even better before you launch it? So that's your one step for this week. So think about your minimum viable product. What can you do to test your product? Next week, we'll focus on determining your target audience and create some fictional characters that are going to be your brand's biggest fans. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining us for the One Step Empire podcast from SHEcorporated. We're here to help you take the leap and create the life you dream of by building your own business. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, there are some core steps every business needs to take to become a success. As a woman in business, we are often trying to start our business in the pockets of our days. So we're going to keep it simple, cut the fluff, and focus on the elements that are the most critical to your success and will have the biggest impact on your business, all while helping you do it in the amount of steps you have time for each week, one step. So follow along with us for a 5-minute podcast each week to learn about the next step in your journey, and then complete that action item before the next podcast the following week. And step by step, week by week, you'll be moving in the direction of your dreams. We can't wait to see what you build.